Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. I am your host, Terry Ann Russell. As you know, I am transitioning into a sacred wellness YouTube channel now that is going to be changed from my Healing Heart initiative. As I'm going through this huge shift in my business and my personal life, sacred wellness is becoming front and center for me. And it's been something I've been guided to share. So this channel will shift and change going forward. Today, what I want to talk about is some wellness practices to nurture your spiritual wellness. There's many different types of wellness when we talk about sacred wellness, spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. And I'm going to do different videos for different ones, but today we're going to focus on the spiritual wellness aspect. When I talk about spiritual wellness, I'm really talking about this sense of purpose, right? This finding meaning and the purpose of life. And it becomes the central compass, if you will, for everything that you're doing. And there has to be this balance within for the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. One thing I learned long ago was the importance of a morning intention and setting those intentions, and how important it was to cultivate a practice in the morning for me, because I am an early bird. So if you're not an early bird, you might want to skip over that. But for me, I am an early bird, so I like to get up when my husband gets up, and I begin my day with stillness. I pray, I may pull cards, I do some energy work, and I set this intention that aligns with my highest good for the day. I like to think of it almost as if it's a blank canvas, and whatever I'm setting those purposeful intentions, I'm painting that canvas for the day how I'd like it to look. Sacred breath work. So breath work is also something that's really important when you're cultivating a sacred wellness practice to nurture your spiritual wellness. Consciously doing breath work, whether you're just taking one breath in and one breath out, is a conscious awareness, and you're focusing on that energy. You're inhaling energy and you're exhaling what no longer serves you. You may want to do a practice of 4-4-4, where you breathe in for 4, hold it for 4, and then release it for 4. And that really helps to restore balance and clarity. I think sacred breath work is one of those things that helps raise our vibration, brings us back into the body. So although we're talking about spiritual wellness, it's really bringing us back into the physical body, which for me, that's one of the things that I probably struggle with the most on my journey, is being in a physical body. I always like to be out in the ethers, and even when I sleep, I'm traveling and doing work. So the physical body for me is a little bit more difficult. It's been on my journey. I think when we're talking about a spiritual wellness practice, we want to look at your connection to something bigger than you, right? Could be a higher power, source, God, could be your higher self, your guides, your angels. But you know there's something bigger than yourself. And when you have this connection of something bigger to yourself, you're able to access that. And through the work that we do, the internal work of releasing and unlayering all of those thoughts, beliefs, patterns that have kept us stuck for so long, we're able to access higher aspects of ourself. And these higher aspects help us in the physical world. So how I like to consciously set those intentions is to ground in nature. That is one of the practices that I can't stress enough. is about being grounded and being outside in nature, taking in the energy of the earth, connecting with the ground, listening to the birds, hearing the wind blow, watching the trees flow with that beautiful wind. It's a symphony in and of itself, right? Nature for me, it just helps to restore my energy and recharge my spirit. I really feel at home when I'm out in nature. Although I don't do it as much as I should, it's been a practice for me to sort of cultivate being in nature and grounding in nature. I think spiritual practices help you to restore peace and harmony within you. You know, we do live in a 3D world, and sometimes that 3D world can get heavy and inundating. And when we're practicing the spiritual wellness, we're contributing to that inner peace that resides within us. And we have access to that higher connection, that inner peace, grounding with nature. We are cultivating this practice of peace and harmony. And depending on where you are in your life, you may have to cultivate more opportunities to have that peace and harmony. You know, I can think back to when my boys were little and I had three boys under 3 years old. And there was utter chaos at times. I had three babies, three in diapers, two were on bottles. And, I can honestly look back and say it was all a blur. I didn't know if I was coming or going. So, things like that, it's really important to carve out those times of peace and harmony for yourself when you're cultivating a sacred wellness practice. Heart-centered meditation. Heart-centered meditation really connects you deeply with that inner aspect of you, the heart. I mean, just putting your hands over your heart and breathing in and breathing out. You feel, the true life force that resides within you. I like to visualize an emerald green light or a light pink light or a golden light. Just this warm, beautiful light radiating from my heart. And it fills my physical body, my emotional body, my mental body, and my spiritual body with love, unconditional love and peace. You know, no matter what it is and no matter what you do, whatever you're doing for your morning routine is important and it has to align to you. These are just ideas and tips. I don't do them every day. Some I do more. There's other ones I'll switch it up, but it's not any set routine. I find really it's what works for me. Maybe today, like today, I woke up and I had back-to-back stuff to do, so I was a little more rushed. I didn't take as much time to sit outside in nature this morning. I woke up and I just pulled cards really quickly, and I did a quick meditation and focused on my breath, and I was off and running. And that's okay. You're gonna have days that are more busier than others, but it's my opinion that the more that we cultivate that personal connection within ourselves, the more we are connecting with our heart space and our breath, and the more we're bringing up all these aspects of ourself, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual together in this balance, because that's really what it's all about is bringing sacred wellness is about nurturing every aspect of yourself. And some days you're gonna do more in the physical, and other days you'll do more in the mental areas. I think it's important. I wanted to do these videos to give you different ideas for each aspect of yourself and when you're working with that. So today was for the spiritual wellness side of it. And next week we're going to talk about the physical. the physical practice of it. So I look forward to seeing you then. And until then, I hope you have a great day.